Welcome back to How to Cake It. I'm here with Allie. You guys know her as Sugarpusher. She's amazing. And I'm not in the How to Cake It kitchen. I'm in Allie's kitchen, a very tiny kitchen. You've seen me make plenty of cakes, but have you seen me make a tiny cake?
Very tiny.
By the way, I'm gonna say tiny a lot. I think you should start to keep track. I made this cake smaller than it is in this picture. It was like this big. I'm following your lead.
Okay, so we're gonna make this beautiful cake from your book. We're gonna make the chocolate chip cookie cake.
Okay.
I think this cake I baked
Oh yeah.
5 grams of chocolate.
You have to see the tiny cake pans.
And I've got some cookie dough here, and we're gonna put the cookie dough. I have prepared our tiny pans, and
Yeah.
I've greased the little pans here. So we're gonna put some cookie dough into the pans, and then we're gonna bake it in our tiny oven.
Can I see the tiny oven?
Yeah, of course.
Can I just say off the top how nice it was to bake with someone else? Especially someone as lovely as Allie, but it was so nice to bake with someone else. Normally I'm here all by myself, like cursing, which Orhan cuts out.
Here's our tiny oven, and it has tiny doors, and it's pink because of course it's pink.
Of course.
And then we cook with candlelight.
I feel like a giant right now.
Yeah, same. So we light some candles.
Yeah.
Obviously, we preheat our oven.
Yes?
And then we stick our little pans in there, and it's gonna bake it.
How do you know when it's preheated? Does a tiny light go on?
No, but it should.
Is that a tiny knife in a tiny knife holder?
Yeah.
So cute.
It's really sharp too, so be careful.
Oh my gosh. So first we baked the tiny cookie cakes in the tiny oven, which is heated with candles, okay?
Are you serious?
Like tealights.
Tea lights.
Okay, and now we wait for it to bake, and it's probably gonna take a while, so.
Okay.
All right, do you wanna whip up some tiny frosting?
Yes!
Okay.
Do you have a tiny piping bag?
I make my tiny piping bags. Okay, so we're mixing our tiny buttercream here.
It's quite a loud sound for a tiny little mixer.
Okay.
It's working hard. Do you have tiny champagne flutes for a tiny celebration?
Not yet. We're working on it.
You know what you should do in the winter? You need to do tiny hot chocolate.
I've done it.
Oh, okay, good.
We've done it. We've
Good.
done tiny hot chocolate with tiny marshmallows in this tiny mug.
Have you done a tiny sundae? You love ice cream.
I think I
A
have.
tiny hot fudge sundae.
Okay, we need
But
to
you
do
need
that
the
next.
scoop. See what I'm, tiny people, I need you, well, that sounds like they're tiny. Anyone who's in charge of making the tiny items, tiny ice cream scoop.
We have tiny cake boxes as well, y'all.
Look at that, like a cake mix?
Yeah.
Sprinkly. This is so cute.
So we're gonna open our tiny oven, and we're gonna take out our tiny cookie cakes.
Look at the tiny caramelization. Look at it.
We're gonna set them here.
I do feel like whispering to these cakes, I gotta. Gosh.
Okay, are we ready? So we
Yes.
just push off the bottom.
I'm sorry. I'm like, oh, look at it. I'm gonna hold it.
There it is.
We chilled the cakes. Then we had buttercream, and then we also had cookie dough, and what else? Oh, I'll wait till I get to the tiny cookies. So once they were cooled, I had to fill the inside, Orhan. It was like doing something I'm used to doing without the feeling, because when I ice a cake, like the spatula has weight. I can feel the buttercream. This was so tiny, it was like using like a pin. It was so tiny. We filled the center. I decided to put a little bit of cookie dough in the center as well. Then we put the other cookie cake on top. And then I did the tiniest crumb coat and chill of my life. I want a tiny crumb coat.
It's time for a tiny crumb coat.
I'm gonna regret this half a second in.
I'm gonna hold this down for you
Thank
because
you.
that's gonna help you a lot.
Okay.
Can't even believe this is happening right now.
Okay.
Top. You gotta, yep, you gotta get the top on
This
there.
feels so weird.
It looks great. That is a great crumb coat.
Thank you.
Do you want to make a tiny cookie? I got more cookie dough.
Yeah, can we try?
Yeah.
Orhan, we baked mini cookies. Like, you know the cookie cereal? They were smaller than that.
Because you're gonna need to make the little cookies to go on top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the tiniest thing I've ever seen.
We've converted her.
Have you made a tiny salad?
No,
You should
that
do
would
that.
be fun.
Chop tiny lettuce, a little tiny tomato, little tiny cucumber bits. You'd have to cut it out with like a piping tip.
Yeah, I could do that though.
Now you need tiny salad.
I know. There's
Because
so many
you've got
tools
to
I don't
toss
have.
the tiny salad.
A tiny food processor that really works.
Tiny! Wow.
It's so small, but it makes so much noise.
They're loud, yeah.
This is definitely more fun.
Oh my gosh. The tiny cookies are here. Oh yes, put them on the board.
Yeah, we
because
don't
they're
want
hot.
to. Yeah.
Tiny heat.
There we go. Tiny cookies. Okay, you won because mine is giant.
In this world.
So now you get to do the honors of tiny frosting it.
Okay. Then I iced it, and I also decided to mimic like the striped buttercream pattern I do on this cake. Then I chopped mini chocolate chips on a mini cutting board with a mini knife. Okay, wait. I always get down on eye level with my cakes. This is no different. I think this is a good front. What do you think?
I think it looks great.
Okay, now we're gonna top the cake.
We're gonna top the cake with some cookies, various size cookies.
We
can make all the tiny
fork.
things
Do you have
now.
tiny plates?
I have.
Arhan, please insert some sort of dramatic UFO landing music here.
That's your alien.
Ta-da! You know how every How to Cake It episode ends with a slice?
Yeah.
I cut a tiny slice out of the tiny cake with the tiny knife. Yes, hold the tiny
You have
table
to-
down. Yes?
Please promise not to cut my fingers.
Okay, yes, I promise. Oh my god. Oh, it's cutting.
Wow, smoothly.
If you don't know Allie, you should know Allie because even Britney Spears follows Allie and reposts her. Do you think Britney will repost this? If she does, I'll make her like a tiny cake with a tiny snake on it. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
I'll hold it down and then I'll help you with the plate.
I think I need to use both. Ready?
Tiny plate coming in. Would you like to make a little drink to celebrate?
Yes. Yes, please.
So we've got some watermelon sparkling beverage here.
All right.
And we've got some melon flavored vodka.
Okay. Woo!
Okay.
You're gonna have to carry me out of here.
So we can go ahead and just do a little pour of these tiny little goblets.
Oh!
Oh, somebody just tiny pour. There you go. So cute. Okay, and now I'm gonna take your tiny goblet.
Tiny toes.
and hold it in your hand.
Cheers. 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 And then as you can see, we flew home and I got a cold on the plane. But it was worth it. Tell us what you want to see us cake or make, tiny and big. Oh, you know what I should have done? Connie, I should have posed with it like this.
How did we miss that?
I don't know, it's so obvious. We have to go back. We obviously have to go back, Allie. We're coming back to Alabama.